How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. Let's take a look at Super 7 Ultimate's G.I. Joe, wave number 2. Starting out with the packaging, on the side we have Flint 01, Lady J 01, Baroness Destro. The GI is for general issue or government issue for G.I. Joe, wave number 2. And the 01 is a hint that we're going to get a second and maybe other variants of each of these figures. We've seen that before in wave 1 with the BATs. We got version 1 and version 2, which was the SDCC exclusive. So really cool to have that little hint right now for what's coming in the future of the line. And looking at the packaging for the rest of the figures, we got the blue camo for Cobra, and we'll take a close look at Destro. I am an out-of-box collector, so I do try to admire the packages as long as possible because I do enjoy the packaging. Especially in this case, that reflective foil is really, really cool. All of the cartoon readouts you see here, you're going to see here on the backs of the boxes are unique to each of the characters. So this features Destro, and then it has his bio with that computer green screen. And next up, we have the Baroness. Lots of discussion about the face portraits in the comments of my shorts section, and we're going to talk about that today. We're going to take some really close looks at it, and we'll do some comparisons to the original promo shots that are on the Super 7 website still to this day. Looking at the other side, we see cartoons specific to the Baroness. We got her bio and the computer green screen. Moving on over to the Joes. Green camo, Flint, warrant officer. One of my favorite action figures as a kid. Had him complete for many, many years. That was so dope. Again, more conversation about those head portraits. I can tell you right now, just looking through the box, when I first saw this, I was like, wow. I was like speechless. On the other side, some Flint cartoons on those computer screens. And his bio, the computer green screen. Last but not least, Lady J, the covert operations version. The head portrait stuff going on again here. Lady J on the computer screens and Lady J on the green and black screen. All right, let's start getting these guys and gals out. Lady J. Flint. Destro. The Baroness. All right, and since Baroness was the last figure that we looked at, looking at her second tray of accessories, this is super cool. The mask is not removable from this particular portrait, but the hair is super soft. I like the blue highlights. Very nice. This is super soft. And the connection here to the mask is pretty thick, so you don't have to worry about it snapping easy. That's cool. The strap is super soft. The connection of the hose to this tank is also pretty substantial, so nice. And it just feels great to the touch. This is a really nice accessory. Really, really nice. Cool touch. Got some daggers. Well, actually, we have a dagger and a syringe. We've got a holster. Let's see if that can open. This thing feels so soft to the touch, and it opens. She's also got this. We've also got this. She also has this blaster. It's like a pistol. Looking at the other tray of accessories, starting out with her rifle. There goes that little pistol that goes in that holster. Here we've got a gripping hand with a thumb up. We've got a shooting hand with a vertical hinge. We've got a fist with a... Actually, we have a closed gripping hand where you can slide something into that fist right there. Very nice. This is what I want to say is like a claw hand. Check that out. And certainly that's for one of the accessories. I've never seen a molded hand like this. Really nice. Nice, unique experience there. A pointing hand that also can grip. All right. And now 2 of her face portraits. And I'll put up a screenshot there of the promo shot. And you can see that they don't look the same. And I know that, final products may vary. This seems like a really glossy kind of plastic, and the other seems like a finished painted product. Now, taking a look at the third portrait, this is the best of the three in my opinion. It looks more symmetrical than the others, but even here, I feel like there's something not spot on forward about her eyes. Next up, we'll look at Destro's Accessories. Again, 2 trays. He has 3 accessories that can go on his forearms, some grenades for one arm, and then twin matching bracers with rockets. These bits of plastic will give a little bit, so you don't have to worry about them snapping right away. Up here, you've got some cool stuff going on. You've got a purple rocket. You know, how awesome are purple rockets? It's like purple backpacks. Awesome sauce. You've got this thing, which I don't really know what it is. I'll show it to you. It's a nice color, though. That'd be a nice color for a room, you know? But I don't really know what this is. We've got this massive rocket launching thing, which is super hollow. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe this is for this? Nope. So much for that. Maybe that, maybe this. Doesn't make sense. But anyway, super empty. What else do we have? We've got this cool semi-automatic weapon here. Or maybe it's fully automatic. I don't know. It's got a nice metallic finish on it. Very cool. And I think that's a suppressor. So that's dope. I think that looks really cool. And he's got a laser blaster pistol thing. And this handle, which is from the cartoon movie that I saw recently, and I don't remember what the name of it is. But it looks like an Atari controller too, so there's that. This, which, I don't know what this is. And we've got a vertical hinge, pointing, and gripping hand. Vertical hinge, gripping hand. Vertical hinge, really wide gripping hand. Vertical hinge, shooting hand. Yeah, so he's got all vertical hinges. And what is he shooting? He's also shooting this. And this Desert Eagle looking thing. Boom, boom, boom. He's got a man in the iron mask. Iron mask. And this thing looks kind of like a snout, kind of. It's got spikes at the end of the snout. Then those spikes there. And his face, I guess, we just kind of like insert there. We've got this portrait, which I'm sure, of course, is from a cartoon episode, and I don't remember or know the episode because I don't think I've ever seen this. Looking at the face portraits, that metallic silver looks dope. The eyes are like dead center forward on this portrait. All the paint is super clean and crisp. The eyebrows are perfectly centered on that brow ridge. I mean, his cheekbone lines. He looks dope. And that is the straight, serious face. Very, very nice. Digging that portrait. Flint comes with 2 trays. Has this backpack, which looks dope. And this is almost like a pea green. It is super, super muted. Almost like it's sun faded. And then you got a canteen there. You got, I don't know what these things are. Maybe, I don't think those are grenades. I don't know. But there is no functionality to this at all. I was wondering about that. These things feel super soft and cool. And they are connected with pretty thick pieces there. Oh, but they're glued on. So look, it's peeling there for me. And you can see the color underneath. So careful there. This, I really wanted to check out. A newspaper with Cobra Commander on the cover. Very, very nice. Cobra Commander delivers State of the Empire address tonight. We've got a transmitter or a radio of some kind here. Looks like it has a readout on the screen, or multiple readouts. Then we've got a shovel. We've got a flashlight. Starting out with the hands. Vertical hinge, grippy hand with a pinch. Vertical hinge, grippy hand with a trigger finger. Pointing horizontal finger hand. Horizontal hinge, larger grip. Vertical left-handed trigger finger So 1, 2, 3 additional pairs of hands to hold on to his accessories and these weapons that have no paint deco at all. Again, it's supposed to be like the cartoon, so not a lot of paint apps on them at all. We've got a bend in his shotgun. And we've got a really nice metallic silver pistol. And looking at the additional face portraits. These were the first face portraits I saw when I was opening the boxes. And when I looked at it, I thought to myself, damn, what is going on with the tiny features on his face? And I kind of feel like on this figure, that's like the biggest problem. Like his eyes are small and just feel undersized. I'll do a side-by-side and you can see that it doesn't look anything alike. But I just wanted to show you each one individually. This one has his communicator over his beret and around his chin. This is a super thin piece of plastic. Be careful there. This one is the removable beret. Pops right off. See his part there. And of the 3 portraits, and I'm going to get a side-by-side for you with the one that's on right now, I think this one has the best proportions of his eyes. There we go. That's a pretty decent angle. And you see how tiny those features look? And in my opinion, compared to the one here on the left side of your screen with the removable beret, this one is a better looking portrait overall. Take a close look at the spear, and it is dope. It's got these hooks here, plain bow staff, an additional spear without the hooks, the rocket tip, some of the other sharp edge tips, the grappling hook with string. She has 2 of those, different versions I might add, and then she has her rifle. And if you're thinking, man, that looks familiar, it's because it is familiar. It's one of her guns, and this is the one that you would use to load with this harpoon tip so that she could fire that with this trigger here. It's also with this recording device. She comes with 1, 2, 3 additional pairs of hands, and here we have a vertical hinge trigger finger, a vertical hinged open gesturing hand. And I think that's cool. We have a horizontal hinge circular gripping hand. We have a closed grip circular gripping vertical hinge hand. Looks like it would be for the bow staff and the spears. Controversial face portrait time. All right, now looking at these face portraits, and I had to adjust the light. I'm sorry about, I'm still working on my light after almost 2 years, my lighting. So sorry about that, but this is the best lighting I could give you right now with decent shadows. You can see side by side, they definitely don't look like the product shots. I don't think it's as bad as Flint, so I'm not really sure. But I think they look better than Flint, not like the original promo shots. And you'll be the judge if you think it's passable, you know? And now, let's take a look at deco on our 4 figures. Starting out with Baroness, you see again, all of the figures are going to have minimal paint applications because it's supposed to look like like the 80s cartoon. And for that, they hit the colors, I think. I like the gloss on the high boots, really well executed. I will say, just looking at the boots, let me give you that reflective shine, there you go. And then looking at the gloves is more matte black, whereas this is an extreme gloss black. Would have been nice if that matched. As I mentioned before, she's not looking straight on. I think it might be this eye. I mean, she's a bit cross-eyed there. But I do think overall, with the hair, the proportions work extremely well. So looking at her articulation, we saw the head. You will also not get much down from her, but you got some left and some right. You're going to get pretty close to 90. Good bicep swivel. Smooth shoulder. An upper diaphragm wobble and rotation. You've got waist rotation. This belt is pliable but attached. The legs, wow, that's not bad. That's not bad. Rotation there at the upper thigh. You have rotation at the boot cut, 90 at the knee. And for heels, that's some good pointy toe down and decent pointy toe up. I am not a fan of heels on female action figures. I think it's kind of like insulting. It's so unrealistic. It's so unrealistic. In the case of Baroness here, she stands no problem with her heels. That's my second big gripe about the heels with female action figures. It affects how they can articulate and stand, but not Baroness. So, boss Baroness. I'll keep that head portrait on, and fingers crossed for a head pack. Let's keep it with the ladies, and we're looking at Lady Jaye. Was never a fan of Lady Jaye growing up. Just was not. This figure specifically picked her up because she's not wearing heels. She's wearing combat boots, and that makes sense. Very plain, no wash or shading anywhere on the figure, just like you would see in the cartoon, minimal paint detail. On the back, she has her quiver loaded with things that do not come out. And this dagger, I've been wondering since I saw the package, the dagger comes out. Nice, 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 nice. I think this is a really beautiful figure, and I'm not having problems with any of the joints being loose or wobbly. They feel smooth. I'm digging this wave. I'm feeling it. So in our terms of articulation with her, you're going to get nothing back because of the length of her hair here in the back, and you're going to get nothing down. In terms of the shoulders, she's going to give you, similar to Baroness, close to 90. You'll get that smooth rotation there. Again, at the bicep, and then you're going to get your horizontal hinge here on the fists. Something that everybody's been asking about is the paint matching, right? So I'm going to bring it up close to the camera. So to me, to my eye, there's a close paint match between the glossy plastic of the forearm and the glossy plastic of the face. The chest looks like a different shade of beige on her chest. It's because it's painted over the green and it's not molded plastic. At this portion where the bicep meets the sleeve, that is also painted light flesh tone. And it is not an exact match for the forearm or the face portrait. I don't know if it came across, but it does come across to the eye in person. So just a word on that. She does have that upper chest diaphragm wobble and full rotation at the waist. She's got a pretty decent split, but because her hips are a bit bulkier, they don't go out as far on the split. You do have that upper thigh swivel. You do have your 90, up close to 90, not as far as the Baroness. Have an upper boot cut. I really dig those boots. Outstanding toe down. Pretty decent toe up, stopped by this piece of molding. And you do have your rocker. Lady Jaye feels like she feels battle ready. Everything about her sculpting, the smoothness of her articulation, the base given by her boots, she just feels like she has a great stance. I'm really digging this figure. All right, let's keep it with the Joes and keep it in the green. Looking at Flint, I've always been a fan of the camo and the army green, and I'm digging all of it. This is a really muted, faded pea green, and it does match his backpack extremely, extremely well. So I will also comment and say that. His fists, I kind of feel like his fists are undersized, right? I mean, look at the size of his wrist compared to his fists. If I were to show you side by side Destro's fists, and I get it, Destro is taller, and I get it, not everybody has the same size hands. But that's something that struck me about Flint and that face portrait. I do like these straps. This is also a nice pliable plastic. This is less pliable, more stiff, and everything is kind of like glued either here at the hip or here in the back. Minimal paint detail, just like the cartoon. Looking at the paint matching, again, just like Lady Jaye, I'll bring them up close. It might not be as noticeable with this figure, but the skin on his chest is painted, and also here near the bicep. This plastic forearm is molded just like the plastic here on the face portrait. So otherwise, I love how Flint looks. And these paint variations here on the chest and bicep don't bother me. If I could get a head replacement, I think this would be outstanding. And just now I saw that he has tilt in the head So it's more movement than we saw on Lady J. Very minimal up and down, but more than Lady J. So that's cool. And of course, you've got your swivel. You've got a solid 90-degree angle there. Swivel at the shoulder, swivel at the bicep. A little bit of movement there. Rotation and horizontal hinge at those small fists. You do have an ab crunch, which isn't really going to give you much. It's going to give you more of an ab wobble. You do have a bit of a twist, but not full swivel because it is definitely going to get stopped by the strap. So be mindful of not putting too much pressure because you will snap these relatively thin straps. At the legs, you have that, and you do have some upper thigh wobble. You got 90 from Flint with really good toe down, decent toe up, and boot swivel, and outstanding rocker. So articulation-wise, stability-wise, they feel great. They feel like really premium cartoon designed action figures. I'm liking what I have. No disappointment so far. 3 out of 3. Well, barring the disappointment of those face portraits. 3 out of 3. Let's check out Destro. All right. My favorite figure in the wave for sure. And he has absolutely nothing that I feel like, oh, well, there's one thing that I would complain about. I wish they had given him the holster here for his thigh. And I know somebody's going to say, oh, you know what? He didn't have that in the cartoon or something. And okay, fine. But that would have been a nice accessory to have, to add, put on, and take off. And I also wish this would have been an actual necklace, you know, loose and not molded to his chest. But otherwise, I think the colors look great. I think the sizing and scaling of this piece here around his collar is good. I think the thickness all the way up to the back of his neck is also good. And I say that because I've seen some designs on this figure where this I feel is like way oversized. I mean, just way oversized. But on him, I think it looks great. Articulation, you're going to get good rotation, even though you got that collar piece. You're going to get minimal up, some down, and that's cool because he's pretty tall. You got close to 90, swivel at the shoulder, swivel at the bicep, swivel at the horizontal hinge for those big fists. Rotation at the waist, pretty decent split for Destro. Wobble at the thigh, better than 90 at the knee, toe down, toe up with a good rocker. Articulation on these figs is solid, and you can see how you would get your heroic posing. So heck yeah, other than the face portraits issue that we have, I love this wave because the figures themselves, everywhere from the neck down, are outstanding. Accessories included in terms of Lady J and Flint, and even Baroness, her face portraits could be better also. But otherwise, I think this is a dope wave. We're gonna finish off today with our comparison, our theme comparison, and we're gonna keep it in the Joe universe and the Ultimates universe. All right, our final shot here of our G.I. Joe Ultimates. I brought in Snake Eyes from Wave 1, the 2 BATs from Wave 1, and also Cobra Commander. So really quickly, I'll bring out a Destro and put him out in front of Destro so you can see the size difference there. I'll bring out a Flint so you can see what a painted Flint face looks like. And I'll bring out a BAT, even though you can't get the size comparison for the BAT back there. But, so let me get rid of him. This was a lot of fun today. Thank you to everybody in the comments, at Travis Wilcox, at Road Pig John, at so many people in the comments. Thank you so much. It was a ton of fun having dialogue back and forth. I hope Super7 gets a chance to see this video and looks out for some of the comments and feedback in the community like they usually do. And maybe we'll get a future head pack to make these awesome figures even more awesome. And as always, everybody, I had so much fun today on this Mother's Day, taking time out to share the experience of collecting toys as an adult. And I hope you're able to keep coming back and keep sharing experiences too. Until next time, everybody, thank goodness it's playtime.